Once again, welcome back to another Spain seminar at Your Overseas Homes virtual event. My name is still Christopher Nye, Senior Editor at Spain Property Guides and Your Overseas Home. And if you haven't already, do take a look at, do please pop over to Shirin's booth and ask her any of your individual questions. Look at her properties. I mean, what more pleasure could you have than checking through a few lovely properties on the Costa del Sol and seeing what you might like and what's available there. And I'm sure she's got her best properties front and center. So I'm joined once again by Shirin Sharifi, the Spanish estate agent who works along the Costa del Sol, and that's what we're going to be talking about for the next half hour. Do put in your questions. Shirin has a presentation all about the appeal of the area, but you may have your specific questions like where to buy for this or where to buy for that. So do please throw those questions out there into the Q&A box. I am going to hand over to Shirin, who's going to give us a presentation on the Costa del Sol and why you want to move there, and then we'll ask some questions afterwards.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name, is Shirin Sharifi, and I'm the Sales Director at the Spanish Estate Agent. I've been working in real estate on the coast for 24 years and in all aspects of the business, listing, selling, marketing, and so on. So I've gone through the process myself a few times, so I understand the complexities and of the whole thing. And of course, we've helped many people go through the process as well. We have a Google recommendation page as well that you can find us on, and you can see real people making real comments about their experience with us. But today I wanted to go through a little bit about the area and the area that we cover and who we are and so on. So we are the Spanish estate agent, and we're based, our main office is in Estepona, but we cover the whole coast. So we cover from Malaga right the way to Gibraltar and inland. We have staff speaking 7 different languages at the moment, and we are able to, as I say, help clients from all over the world. We help with finance, with properties, of course, but hold your hand throughout the whole process. We're talking about lifestyle a little bit here today and what we can do for you. So that's who we are. This is the area that we cover, and that's pretty much, as I say, from Malaga right the way over to Gibraltar, and inland as well. I want to be clear that we don't just do coastal properties. We do have inland properties as well, or deal with inland properties as well. Okay. Now the area between Malaga and Fuengirola is quite popular for a lot of clients because you don't necessarily need to have a car there. It has a railway line that goes has several stops along the way, all the way from central Malaga Airport and all the way along, and that finishes in Fuengirola. Now, if you are willing to drive, that will open you up obviously to the rest of the coast, where there's some beautiful properties and areas, and each area has something different to offer. So you have inland properties where you've got land, you've got beautiful country properties with maybe olives, groves, vineyards and all sorts. And then you have other coastal type properties as well, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments, grand villas, so on, golfing properties. And then you go through areas like Marbella itself, you know, very fashionable, very popular. But then going to the other side, it's where a lot of people are looking at now. The area between, let's say, Marbella, Benavis and Estepona has been renamed the Golden Triangle. But going further west, as I say, prices become better, let's say, and right the way down to Gibraltar itself. Sometimes we do go into the Costa del Luz area as well, Tarifa, those kind of areas are becoming quite popular as well. Okay. So the Spanish property market at the moment, reasons why, we all know why it's so popular. Of all the areas within Spain, we have you know, we have more days of sunshine than anywhere else. We're considered the California of Europe. When you're investing your money, surely you want your money to go further, and you want it to be, your property to be usable for as long as possible. And of course, that year-round sunshine means that more people, you know, they're able to use their property more often. They can rent it out longer for longer periods. It's not just seasonal, summer seasonal, and so you're getting much more use out of the property itself. Malaga Airport allows you know, really good cheap flights all year round coming into the zone. So you know, you can pick up tickets for, I don't know, 50 euros each way, and it's all year round as well. So we have some of the best weather, really easy to access. The cost of living, even though it has gone up just like everywhere else, is nowhere near as expensive as Northern European countries. Fresh fruit, veg, organic is normal, normality for us. Most of us buy organic every day, and it's not that we have to go to a specialist shop for that. It's available free, you know, very freely available to us on markets and so on. In terms of sporting facilities, wow, I mean, we are so lucky being on the mainland and being in that part of Spain. We have access to skiing 2 hours away in Sierra Nevada. Going the other way, heading west towards places like Tarifa, we have amazing water sports like windsurfing and kite surfing and so on. The Costa del Sol is a mecca for very, very good quality golf courses and golfers coming to play. Certain courses that are, you know, really up there, very well-known, famous courses where people have got them on their little tick list to play. And then you've got medium and easier courses as well. So there's something there for everyone in terms of golf and in terms of sports. Now, the roads going back from the coast offer fantastic opportunities for cycling and motorcycling as well. The Spanish version of the Tour de France was held on the part of it was held in our region, the Vuelta, and so yeah, there's sporting possibilities for everyone, and I won't even talk about the hiking and the walking that you can do in the area. So moving on from that, yeah, what we're offering at the moment, I mean, in my previous seminar I was talking about how we work. Because of my experience and because of our passion for what we do, I suppose, a lot of our clients love working with us, because the other thing is we have access to absolutely every single property that's available on the coast. So we can do a lot of homework with you before your trip over. We can do video calls, we can do 3D walkthroughs, floor plans, all the structural and quality specifications of a property before you come over. So we can fine tune your tour before you come over to a massive extent, so that we are fully prepared for your trip. We've made all the appointments. You don't have to talk to hundreds of different agents. I've learned more and more about what you like and what you don't like, and your lifestyle and what you want to achieve. And then I go and find it, and I've got it all organized for your trip. From the day you arrive, we've got everything organized. So as I say, we love doing video calls with clients. I have many sessions with my clients, having their glass of Rioja while we talk through their dreams and aspirations for when they come to Spain. And we can do lots of online stuff before you actually come in and view physically. We've had many clients, especially throughout COVID, that bought remotely, but at the moment we're using it as a tool to do homework before you come out. So what does that mean for you? Dealing with one agency, you have doing as much homework with one person, you get the earliest notification of any new developments, sometimes before they're even launched to the public. Again, because of my experience and my my contacts, I do get a lot of new developments being given to me, let's say, before other agents and the public. So if we get price drops and so on, because of the way we work, because of the network that we have, we get, if there's a price drop or a special offer, let's say, we can offer that to you much quicker. expanding on what I was explaining about the way we work, so many people are looking on the internet. They're completely overwhelmed by different agents, different prospects, different areas. And what they want is just to be able to explain themselves once and, you know, talk to one person that really listens, because one of the gripes I get from a lot of clients is that agents don't listen to what they're looking for. They want to take them to where they're getting the best commissions, I suppose, or getting the best possibilities for them, but they're not really listening to what the client wants. And I think that's a real shame, because it's something I hope to pride myself. I can give advice to my clients, I can help them as much, but at the end of the day, we want to find you what you're looking for as best we can and as best as the budget will allow. But I have access to everything. So you can send me a link from any other website, any other portal, and I will still be able to get the up-to-date information for you. And if it's appropriate, I can show you that property when you come here, or get all the information for you beforehand, videos, floor plans, and so on. Now, I do spend a lot of time, however, going through the links that clients send me, and they tend to come from certain portals that are quite well known, but certain agents are advertising properties that don't exist. They sold a long time ago and they look too good to be true. You inquire and they try to sell you something else. It's called a hook. Hopefully we don't we weed all that out before, as I say, so you know the real market and what's really happening with prices. So you can, as I say, you can send me any property and I'll get all the information for you. Again, just dealing with one person that's really understanding your mindset, and you know, even when you make certain changes in your remit, you know, I can be flexible as well. So the buying process and the whole sales process, it's quite simple. We do as much homework as possible beforehand. We hopefully fine-tune the viewing list together. You send me properties, I send you properties, and we work together and make it fun. And you know, you come over. By the time you've come over to actually physically view properties, I hope that finance is in place and you're ready to go ahead. If it's a fact-finding viewing, that's fine. We'll show you areas. We'll go, you know, look at different areas and see what's right for you. We might look at a few properties. Having said that, please be aware that properties are selling on a daily basis. Things that are available now may not even be available tomorrow, let alone, you know, 2-3 weeks or however long it takes you to raise the finance. So it's just to give you an idea. So yeah, I mean, we go together, we have all the appointments made. You look at the different properties. If I've done my job correctly, I've found you something that's correct and then right for you. And we have lawyers appointments made. We have bank, you know, opening bank accounts and so on, all ready for you for when you arrive. And then once you've decided on the property, either if it's a resale, we have agreed a price, or if it's a new development, there's no negotiation to be had. It is the set price. Then you sign a reservation form, and if it's a resale, that's normally €6,000 reservation fee to be paid, or 1% of the sales price, whichever is greater. If it's a new development, each development differs as to how much of a reservation fee you pay. So as a resale, you've paid your reservation fee, and then the lawyers take around 2 weeks to get together, exchange all the documents, all the legalities of the property. And if everything is safe, secure, and legal, if there's no legal issue that cannot be rectified before completion, you pay 10% minus the reservation fee you've already paid, and you sign what's called the private purchase contract. Okay. And then you agree a date for completion. The completion can be anything between 2 weeks or 8 weeks, depending on whether you're getting finance, because obviously the mortgage takes a bit longer. But also how long the owners need to move their stuff out and so on. So all different reasons. That's all part of the negotiation, how long it takes to actually complete. With a new development, of course, you're building as part of, you're paying as part of the building schedule and so on. A lot of people find it a great investment because they're only investing 30 to 50% during construction, and paying the rest on completion. They're watching their investment grow within that normal 2-year building schedule, because the units that are not left are increased in price at every stage of build. So your investment is growing during the whole time. In terms of buying costs, I explained this before as well, but it's Andalusia, the province of Andalusia, has slashed all taxes in every aspect, not just buying property, especially when it comes to resale properties. At certain price levels, you were in the past paying 8, 9 or 10% transfer tax. And now this has been slashed to a straight 7% at all price levels. So in some circumstances, you're saving around 3% in buying costs. And in all aspects, so wealth tax has been slashed to a rate of 0. And inheritance tax also up to €1 million is down to 0%, and after that I think it's only 1% anyway. So it's probably the most tax beneficial area to live in, to buy in, and to relocate to as ongoing in terms of wealth tax and so on. So moving on, yeah, so obviously we've got this situation with the 90 days. If you decide to stay a non-resident, you are only allowed to stay in Spain 90, or the Schengen area, 90 days out of every 180 days. So it's a rolling 180 days, and within that 180 days, you can only ever have been in the Schengen area for 90 days. So then, however, a lot of people that thought that was beneficial for them not to become residents are obviously, because of all these tax benefits, are changing their mind, and they start off with a visa. So whichever type of visa that is, it can be a non-lucrative visa if you don't wish to work or earn money in Spain. It can be an employment visa. Depends which road you want to go down, but there are several types of visas that you can apply for. And if you spend more than 500,000 euros, you automatically can apply for what's called the golden visa, which I'm sure everybody's heard of, but that's still a process that you have to go through. So within that, there's several criteria for all the visas, but private healthcare is a must. And if you're going for an employment visa, you need your contract, and you must show that you or your employer is paying your social security, or national insurance, I think it's called in the UK. However, for pensioners, you can see there, you can apply immediately, you can relocate, and your health benefits stay the same. So no need for private healthcare. And students can apply for student visas and so on. So there's several different ways you can apply for visas and different types of visas, but we can give you advice on that, and lawyers can give you advice on that as well. And you can also speak to the consulate either in Manchester or in London. So yeah, we're getting a lot of people, because of Brexit, because of COVID, because of all sorts of reasons. We find that many people are gone from buying just a holiday home here to full on either downsizing in the UK and becoming residents and relocating, or selling up completely and relocating to Spain. So and that's from not just the UK, but all over. We find people think that the Costa del Sol, or think of it as a safe little cocoon where, you know, the rest of the horrible stuff that's going on around us just doesn't seem to affect in the same way. So yeah, it's and for all the reasons I gave you before. So we opened our office in Estepona because it's becoming wildly popular. And for the reasons why, it's still very Spanish. Millions are spent every year on flowers and beautifying the town. Ugly buildings are being painted with beautiful murals, and the budget they had, that they used to subsidize bullfighting, for example, that's all being spent on flowers and, again, beautifying the town itself. It still is great value. Fantastic beaches and a great old town, so you've still got that Spanish charm. It's still very, very authentic, and yeah, as I say, it forms part of what we call the Golden Triangle, from Marbella, Benavís, which is also really popular, and Estepona itself. But as I say, we cover the whole coast. We are opening more offices, and yeah, so the market itself, incredibly buoyant at the moment. We don't just rely obviously on the English market. We have a huge amount of Northern Europeans, Scandinavians buying, Eastern Europeans buying now as well because of, I suppose, the Ukraine situation. But we've got a massive amount of Americans or anybody with dollars looking to buy as well. We're really, happy about that. And because the dollar is being so strong. So we're seeing clients from all over the world, whereas it used to be just, English or German or, so on. So it's great time for us. We offer not the cheapest of properties, I have to say. The Costa del Sol is not the cheapest of locations, which makes my job very difficult, unfortunately. But we offer really, as I say, the quality, the infrastructure, what's available to you. You could be in Madrid in 2 hours on the fast train. We've got Cordoba, we've got Seville, we've got Granada, we've got these beautiful cities. Malaga itself, it's nicknamed Little Barcelona, Barcelonita. There's so much going on around. It's not just the beach and the bars and so on. It is just culturally, it's just an amazing place to be. But of course, we've got the coast as well. So it's showing no signs of slowing down. I've been in this business for 24 years. I saw the slowdown coming in the past. At the moment, we're not seeing it yet. It's very stable. Mortgages are, people, when even buying with mortgages, are having to put a big lump down, so they're not walking away from mortgages anymore. So the market seems a lot safer. So yeah, it's a great market at the moment.
Fantastic. Yeah. Actually, just think about the cost of living. Of course, I think Spanish inflation is about 6%. Ours is about 10%. So, yeah. but if you retire out to Spain, then you get the pension increase based on our 10.4% inflation rate. So your quids in there as well.
Fantastic, yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah. Sorry. Do you need to move on?
Well, no, I was just going to. I was just going to throw out a few. Well, firstly, if anyone has got any questions, do please throw them in. We've only got 5 minutes left. So we've got 8 minutes left. So do throw in your questions. Anything specific? Do please go ahead. I've got a few questions that I was going to ask. I know it's not the cheapest place by any means, but suppose you really want to be on the Costa del Sol, but your budget is a bit smaller. So does that mean you sort of go to the margins, or you go a bit inland, or you get a fixer-upper? What options are there for the slightly lower budgets?
I always say, being in this job, it's location, 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 and I'd rather be on the Costa del Sol in something smaller than anywhere else in anything bigger. There's different things. If you if you go inland, of course, prices improve. Further away you get from the beach, of course, yes, prices get much better. Also, if you go along the coast heading west, prices do improve as well. Areas like Manilva, La Duquesa, those kind of areas between Estepona and Sotogrande itself, they offer fantastic value for money. So in Duquesa, for example, you've got a beautiful little marina. It's like Puerto Banús was 30 years ago, I would say, but filled with really lovely little bars and restaurants, quite touristy. But right next door to it, you've got a gorgeous little fishing village called El Castillo. All the old fishing fishermen's houses are now little fish restaurants, and that's really small and authentic and Spanish. And again, the beaches there have there's 14 kilometers of blue flag European standard beaches, so it's stunning. It's just, it wasn't as built up during the boom time, so there's good opportunities there. Yeah, so they're the sort of areas you can look at. Yeah,
great options. Okay, and now what about for people who are looking for an area that is a bit less, more of a Spanish community? I should preface that by saying we had a girl working in our office from Torremolinos, and I said, "Oh, aren't there lots of British people?" And she said, "Oh, I hadn't thought about that." To her, it was a perfectly normal Spanish town, no British people there at all. She just hadn't really seen them. So I appreciate that everywhere is Spanish, but are there areas that are a bit more old-fashioned and traditional that you might recommend?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's funny. I had a shop in Torremolinos, and we, it was very much tourist based. Of course, it's it's easy for people to be in Torremolinos, Benalmádena, and Fuengirola because of the train. But of course, they were the original tourist destinations in the 70s, let's say. So high rises, if you want your English breakfast and so on, great. Moving away from that, yeah, the more traditional places, I would say, places like Gaucín, Casares, these beautiful white villages that we have in southern Spain, Mijas to a certain extent. And then if you want something more authentic but coastal, San Pedro de Alcántara is absolutely beautiful. It's a little village. Again, it's a real mixture of nationalities, but it's still in its heart very Spanish. And of an evening, you see all the Spanish in their finery, the children running up and down, and the cobble streets and so on. So I would say that for coastal. Estepona itself, again, still very, very traditionally Spanish. And of course, yeah, the inland. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, I want to be inland. I want my own this. I want my own lemon groves and so on." And they've all read the book and they want that lifestyle. But I do say to them, unless you speak Spanish and you really make an effort with the locals in Spanish, then you really need to think about that, because it can be quite isolating. And what do you want this property for? Do you want that idyllic life, but you want to rent it out, or think about what it is that you want. Yeah, it's important, and we try to listen to what it is that you want and try to place you in the best area. So again, it's really important to find someone that's listening to you. What you said about earlier on about doer-uppers, that's not a bad way to go either, because older properties tend to offer quite more space, let's say, better price per square meter, let's say, rather than new. But people look at new with a new style, the eco-friendly and the sustainability and so on, and the open plan and the modern design, and they do tend to go for that. However, the resale properties do offer great value for money and the opportunity to add value to a property. They just don't look very pretty when I send you links to them when we're choosing properties, that's all.
Yeah. So right, other areas. So you mentioned that well, personally, I hate hiring cars. I mean, it's just a pain queuing up at the airport. I just want to be off to my place. So we've got that strip with excellent train service. What about if you're going beyond that? How is the bus service? Is transport quite easy for including for people who don't really like driving on the right, which is
so there's amazing bus services to and fro from the airport, for example. You can buy a ticket for €8 and it doesn't stop anywhere, from Malaga to Marbella, for example. And I think it's maybe €10 to Estepona, for example. And they run every 20 minutes. So once you're where you're going, you've done that trip, and that's fine. And you can function with that throughout, within that area. I would say places like Duquesa offer a great possibility to not needing a car, because right next to Duquesa Port, you've got Sabanias village, where you've got your banks, your supermarkets, and so on. So that's one way of functioning. In terms of renting cars, I have to tell you, it's so much cheaper than England to rent a car in Spain.
Really?
Certainly where we are, because there's such a large amount of car hire places, and they're all competing. And you can organize it where they literally come and give you the keys, you sign the paperwork, and off you go, right at the entrance of the airport. So you don't have to go and queue up. You don't have to. There's certain budget websites where you go to hire cars, and you get there and they add the insurance, and then they insist on this. No, there are some really good companies, and I can recommend those, that you don't have any of that. Friends who have properties there still rent a car when they come over, or you buy a car and to keep down there.
And if you're not going far, you've always got those scooters and electric bikes, which I've always looked at a bit suspiciously. But I was in Portugal last weekend, and we thought, well, we're going to get these scooters. We're going to try them, and they were a revelation. We were scooted along that coast,
Yeah.
at 25 miles an hour, probably too fast, but it was great fun, and that seemed quite safe. And it got us.
Well, you're a lot braver than I am. You're a lot braver than I am, but yeah, they are very popular at the moment. But the other thing you have to remember, we have Uber, we have Bolt, which is another company, but our taxi service as well, it's so cheap here, so
Yeah.
it's just not the same. I think to narrow yourself down to being somewhere without ever having to get into a car is a bit of an ask.
Sure.
But
Sure.
yes, we do have areas where you can do that.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we have actually run out of time. So
No questions.
we could talk forever, but we run out of time. So do if you're a bit shy about asking questions here, do please go and see Shirin on her booth. She's here for another hour or so, I think.
Even if it's after the event, please contact me. Any questions? I help lots of people. I've directed other people to different areas that we don't cover, but if you need any advice or help, please just get my email, my contact details, and contact me.
Yes, I was doing some research about somewhere in Costa del Sol, and one of your team was really helpful and really.
I have a guy that loves going there. He it's not an area that we strictly cover, but he loves going there to show properties, so that's fine. And because of the way we work, we will network with the good agents down there to find the right properties for you. So it's win-win all round.
Fantastic. Right. Well, thank you to all our viewers who've been here all afternoon or all morning actually, and and good luck in your property search in Spain. Do let us know how it goes. I'd love to get an email from people saying, telling me about this, telling me about their story. Just contact us at Your Overseas Home. Thank you, Shirin, and thank you for viewing, and goodbye.